Hey there, today I'm going to be showing you 5 new slow cooker breakfast ideas, and if you didn't know this yet, you could totally make breakfast in the slow cooker. It's one of my favorite ways to prepare breakfast for a larger amount of people or just make my family a special breakfast. I hope you enjoy it. All these meals are so good, and let's get started. To kick us off today, we are making this biscuit, ham, and cheese casserole. I have my can of biscuits right here. I'm going to place them on my cutting board, and I'm cutting each biscuit into 8 smaller pieces. I have my slow cooker here, and we're going to be spraying the inside of it with plenty of nonstick spray. This will help keep the biscuits from sticking. It'll also help prevent them from burning. Just add those biscuits in there and kind of spread them out on the bottom. Now I'm going to be adding my 8-ounce bag of diced ham. I didn't quite add the entire bag. You'll see why in a minute. And then I added in 1/4 cup of sliced green onions. And right here I have 4 eggs that I whisked up. To the eggs I added 3/4 cup of heavy cream. Just whisk those 2 ingredients together and then pour that mixture right over the top of everything and give this a really good stir. I'm sure you know by now how much I love cheese, so I added 1 cup of shredded Colby Jack cheese to the top. Then over the cheese, I added the remaining ham. The ham's going to look nice like this on the top. And then over everything, I'm adding a kitchen towel just like this. And then over the kitchen towel, add the lid. And the reason why we added the kitchen towel is because it's going to prevent the condensation from dripping down and making the biscuit soggy. You gotta trust me, it works wonderfully like this. But after cooking on low for about 2.5 to 3 hours or until the egg has set, it is time to serve it up now. Here's the finished product. Those biscuits cooked so perfectly in the slow cooker like that, and this really does have the perfect ham/biscuit/egg flavor. This is such a delicious breakfast, and it really does come together in no time at all. We love it. Now we're making these fantastic slow cooker breakfast burritos. So to begin, I have 1 pound of sausage right here. I added it to my pan and I'm going to crumble that sausage up and cook it through. If you don't want to use sausage, you could always use bacon as a substitute or ham or anything you'd like. But now that my sausage is cooked through, I'm just going to remove any grease in the pan. I'm just doing that by wiggling a paper towel around in there with a spoon until I have most of the grease gone. I'm going to set the sausage to the side. We're going to start on the eggs now. I added about 13 eggs to this bowl. Next, I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of milk, followed by a little dash of pepper and salt. You could also add in any other seasonings or spices that you'd like. Give this a whisk to break all those yolks and combine the eggs. Now over to my slow cooker, I'm going to spray it with plenty of nonstick spray. Then I added in a 28-ounce bag of potatoes O'Brien. And then over the potatoes, I'm adding our breakfast sausage, and I kind of spread that sausage out so it was layered directly on top of those potatoes. Next, add in about 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, or you could use any type of cheese you like. Then add the eggs over the top of that. Put the lid on top and cook this on low for about 3.5 to 4 hours. Once it's through cooking, just stick a knife in the center, and if the knife comes out clean like this, you know the egg has set and it is ready to serve. We like to just serve this in big tortillas. Growing up in New Mexico, my husband and I are huge breakfast burrito fans, so we love breakfast burritos. We added a little bit of salsa into the center of ours, but you could easily meal prep these breakfast burritos if you'd like to, or make them for a huge crowd of people. They are so good. Now we're making the cinnamon pecan French toast casserole. I have a loaf of bread right here. I'm going to cut it into cubes. You need about 20 ounces of cubed bread for this recipe. That was only 14 ounces of cubed bread, so I added some extra sliced bread that I cubed. Over to my sprayed with nonstick spray slow cooker, I added those cubed bread pieces right in there. Now for the pecans, I'm going to be adding in a 4-ounce bag of those chopped pecans, and then I kind of gave this a stir because you don't just want the pecans on top, you want them in the center too. I'll set this to the side. We're going to work on the egg mixture now. Into this bowl, I added in 8 eggs along with 2 cups of milk. Next, you're going to add in 1/4 cup of maple syrup. This is going to give this some yummy sweetness, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then for the boost of flavor, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. That nutmeg really kicks this recipe up a notch. Give this a really good whisk. Now we're going to make the brown sugar topping. I love the brown sugar topping so much. It's 4 tablespoons of softened butter, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I gave this a stir. This should be the consistency once it has been well combined. Now back over to my slow cooker, I'm going to add the egg mixture that we made up right in there. You kind of want to pour it around so all of the bread pieces get coated, and then give it a little stir just to ensure that those bread pieces get coated. Now over the top, you are going to add that brown sugar topping. Just add it in little amounts, seriously, like everywhere. And then you're going to put the lid on top and cook this on low for about 3 to 4 hours. And here's the finished product. We like to top ours with maple syrup and powdered sugar, and seriously, if you are a French toast fan and you like cinnamon, you will devour this French toast casserole. Of course, it is not crispy, it is more on the softer side because it is slow cooked, but it is amazing. If you don't make these red potatoes yet, you need to start making them today. I have 3 pounds of red potatoes right here. I cut them into smaller pieces. Next, I have 1 yellow onion that I diced and a red and green bell pepper that I'm also going to dice. I am going to add all of these veggies into my slow cooker that I sprayed with nonstick spray. I do want to mention to you, if you're not a fan of onions or bell peppers, you could always just simply not add them in. Next, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter that I sliced into thin pieces, along with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then for the seasonings, I like to keep it simple and do 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I gave this a really good stir, and then I put the lid on top. And after I put the lid on top, I thought to myself, oh man, I totally forgot to add in the minced garlic. So now I'm going to take the lid off and add in a tablespoon of minced garlic. I gave this one last stir, and I cooked this on low for about 4 to 5 hours, or until my potatoes were nice and tender. These potatoes are every potato lover's dream. They have so much amazing bold flavor. You could really make them your own so easily by adding ingredients, adding different seasonings, or taking ingredients away. You could pair these potatoes with any breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You could also meal prep them. Now we're making this hash brown and kielbasa casserole. To begin, I have a 14-ounce package of kielbasa sausage right here. I cut it into smaller bite-sized pieces. I'll set this to the side. We're going to work on the creamy mixture now. So into this bowl, I'm adding 1 can of cream of mushroom with roasted garlic soup, or you could use regular cream of mushroom soup or cream of chicken. I just like the one with roasted garlic because it has a little bit more flavor. Then I added in a 1/2 cup of sour cream and a dash of pepper. I gave this a really good whisk. I have my slow cooker here that I sprayed with nonstick spray. I'm going to be adding in my 30-ounce bag of shredded frozen hash browns. Next, you're going to be adding in 1 yellow onion that you diced, followed by the sausage that we sliced up earlier. Next, you're going to be adding in 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and then you are going to give this a really good stir to kind of mix all the ingredients together. After you're through with that, you're going to add in the creamy mixture that we made up up earlier, and then give this another really good stir. It might be a little tricky to stir just because there's so many ingredients in the slow cooker, but just trust the process. It'll eventually get well combined. Now you're going to be sprinkling another cup of cheese on top. Put the lid on and cook this on low for about 6 to 7 hours. This is a total crowd pleaser. My entire family loves this one, and if you serve it to guests, they will absolutely love it too, I'm sure. Also, this is very easy to throw together, and the hash browns kind of have a smoky flavor from the sausage. It's just wonderful. I have plenty more dump and go slow cooker videos like this on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more in the future. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.